What's good, YouTube family? We are back by popular demand. It's your co-host Nars, and it wouldn't be grown folks' business without my family here tonight. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey.
Yeah.
All good. Happy to be here.
All right, we got Uncle Plug in the building, David in the
Ready.
building. We got old Mr. D down there, Tam Talks, and we got So Savvy, Melissa in the building. So we're gonna jump right in this thing. We ain't gonna waste time tonight. We're gonna get right in there, and we're gonna start with the most popular person in America. I know Lissa was waiting on this guy. We're gonna have to let this one play because we gotta let Stephen A. land. So we're gonna go about 4 to 5 minutes. We gotta hear him out. So so here we go.
Now let's get to the NAACP and two headlines linked to the Civil Rights Organization. The first involves President Donald Trump. The organization announced they will not invite the president to their national convention next month in Charlotte, North Carolina. This would mark the first time the NAACP has opted to exclude a sitting president in its 116-year history. NAACP President Derek Johnson announced the move during a press conference, accusing Trump of working against its mission. Here's a portion of what Johnson had to say. Quote, "This has nothing to do with political party. Our mission is to advance civil rights. And the current president has made clear that his mission is to eliminate civil rights," end quote. The NAACP has filed multiple lawsuits against Trump in the last few months, including suing to stop the Department of Education from withholding federal money for schools that did not end DEI programs, arguing the department was prohibiting legal efforts to provide equal opportunity to Black students. First things first, respect to Derek Johnson. I understand where you're coming from. I just don't agree, respectfully. I don't agree that this was the right decision to make. Number one, let's stop associating DEI with Black people. When you talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we all know that the biggest beneficiaries of DEI has been white women. And we all know that folks associate DEI with individuals who weren't qualified, but were just giving an opportunity so a place could be diverse. And that's not what I would classify us as. And I'm certain that you wouldn't either, Mr. Johnson. So that's number one. Number two, here's where my reticence really comes in. Why not let the 47th president of the United States come and address the NAACP convention? Why not give Donald Trump a chance to sit before your audience, your constituents, and explain exactly what he's doing and why? Why not let him do that? Why not let him stand before the very people whose lives he's purported to have had a profound effect upon with some of his decisions, and let him explain what is it that he's doing and why? When we talk about the Department of Education, again, we all understand that our students need all the help that we can get, especially in the public schools. There's no question about that. Federal funding is essential, and we understand that. But at some point in time, don't we have an obligation to look at exactly what the education department has done and whether or not it has served to benefit our community, as in the Black community, along with various communities throughout this country, the United States of America? Do we just write a check and automatically give it to people, taxpayer dollars to people, without deciphering how well they do their jobs? Are we not allowed to probe and to look at them and to say, what exactly are you doing with the American dollars, with the taxpayer dollars from the American citizens? I don't know the answer. I'm not proclaiming to know the answer. I'm simply saying I want to hear if the president is taking this strong position and he's campaigned on eradicating the Department of Education for years. Why does he feel that way? What evidence does he have to validate his assertions? And if indeed there is profound evidence to support such a position, who are those that are supporting it?
All right. So this is something that I definitely want the educators and the people in the schools to start off. But I thought the reason why I wanted to use Stephen A., I felt like he had the most unbiased video about this topic, because when you go look on the left side is going to be a certain way, on the right side is going to be a certain way. He was like the most unbiased, and he looked at it from an outcome of why not. But I want to hear from you guys who know more about the education system, because I know, Alyssa, we talked about this back in DC a couple of years ago, just about the lack of funding and stuff like that. So how do you guys feel about them not allowing him to come to the convention?
Well, I agree with their decision, because he don't align with the mission of the NAACP. And I feel like Donald Trump has shown us time and time again, he's not going to clearly answer any question. He goes around and around and around, and he describes things, and he talks about how horrible certain people are, but he never quite answers a question. And I don't think he really cares if he gets an invite or not either. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. I don't think that's at the top of his agenda going to anything for the NAACP. But as far as DEI, it really kind of bothers me that everybody just brings up DEI and immediately associate it with like Black people advancing or like affirmative action or something like that. Because to me, DEI is a lot of things. It's not just about Black people. It represents whoever the underserved population is in that particular situation, including in education, being, like teachers are getting in trouble for putting a sign up that says all are welcome. Okay, if all are not welcome, like what are we doing as educators? Yeah. So that just bothers me about DEI. DEI is so it's like such a huge umbrella. And it's not necessarily just talking about getting a job or getting a promotion on a job. And then lastly, as far as dismantling the Department of Education, well, Linda, what is it, McCannon, whatever her name is. I mean, she can't even talk about what her role is as being over the Department of Education. And I've heard Donald Trump say that he wanted to dismantle the Department of Education and give education back to the states. Well, the states already regulate their own education. Like that's already happening. Like in Texas, we have Texas TEKS. Those are our standards. The politicians in Texas decide what goes into a curriculum, and the people in Louisiana decide what they want. The people in wherever, some states use Common Core. So that's already happening. So I really don't understand his stand on the Department of dismantling the Department of Education, which goes back to my original statement that Donald Trump never fully answers a question. So
true, cool. What about you, Tam? I know you in the school system world as well.
I mean, I feel very similar to Alyssa in most of those things, so I don't want to like really kind of go back and repeat, but I don't know. I'm really big on perspective and being able to be heard and understood of what his site is. So even though he doesn't agree with the mission, I think it matters, one, of kind of what they're discussing, what's on the agenda, what's all of that, like those details to me need to be brought up in order to know whether he needs to be there or not, because perspective matters. Like if we don't know what we're fighting against because he ain't saying it, then right. So that's kind of my thought on that, whether he's there or not. But then also, if it's been one at every single one, like you're changing things just for what, right? Like I don't know. I don't agree. Like, yes, change is good. I just don't know if the reason for the change is enough, since we're not getting that perspective. In the same sense, though, Trump really don't answer questions. So are we truly going to get his true perspective on what things are? It's questionable. When it comes to education, I think leadership matters, and the fact that the lady that's in charge right now has no idea what she's doing is a good reason to move her, right? Like I don't right. But again, the states are regulating so much of that. TEA is coming in, and they're the ones who's telling us what to do and what not to do in the state of Texas. And everything else. So is it necessary other than to have hierarchy? Yeah. So that's my thoughts.
What about you, David? What you got?
All right, so I want to touch on one thing Tam said in terms of change and why it's important to do something different. Number one, I agree with the NAACP. And here's why I say it's important to do something different. I think the biggest problem in everything dealing with Trump, from the first term to this one, everyone's gone on like it's business as usual, like we're dealing with a typical president. You can't deal with this man like that. You simply cannot deal with him the way you would deal with another president. Now, so that's why I think change is important. In terms of the Department of Education, everything Donald Trump and his administration has done, every government entity they've touched, the purpose has not been to streamline or make it better. The purpose has been to dismantle it, to completely take it away. And once you take it away, it gives them more and more power. So put in somebody like Lisa McMahon. Do y'all know who Lisa McMahon is?
I do.
Did y'all watch wrestling?
Linda.
Not
It's
wrestling, wrestling.
Wrestling,
WWE.
Wait, what is it called?
Yeah.
Wrestling. WWE.
Oh, wait,
did.
wrestling?
Yes.
No, not wrestling.
McMahon.
Wrestling is what they do in college
Vince
with the
McMahon.
helmets.
Linda
Right.
That's
McMahon.
wrestling.
Yeah, I
Come on,
did.
Vince
I have
McMahon,
no
dog?
idea who she is.
Yes,
She's
white.
doing
I
skits.
don't know who she is.
Did you say she was doing
That's
skits?
who she is.
Yeah, she was in
Oh.
wrestling. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Y'all listening on this topic.
They had a whole
Again, somebody who
storyline
don't know what they
about
But
do.
he
her.
got problem with DEI, and when he refers to DEI, he's talking about black people. But he got problem. Okay.
So y'all need to know who Lisa McMahon is. That's
Yeah.
important to know. She ain't got no business touching no education.
Linda.
There's a Netflix documentary about the McMahons. Check it
Oh,
out.
I think it's Linda.
It is.
Whoever he is, I just know McMahon. But anyway, though, in terms of DEI, the purpose of DEI isn't to hire people just because they're black or woman or whatever. The purpose is this is grammatically it's going to be incorrect. Don't not hire them because they that. If they don't, bring them on. That should be the purpose. And we also have to acknowledge this because, listen, you brought up affirmative action as well. People have such a problem with affirmative action, but the only thing I would ask in any level, whether it's college, government jobs, whatever the case, look at America before affirmative action, before DEI, and tell me what the hiring processes was. And then look at it after. It's an improvement. It's like when people talk in the NFL about the Rooney Rule. How many black coaches was it before the Rooney Rule?
Yeah.
So people complain about it, but it's important. And the only DEI going on right now is this administration. This motherfucker, can I cuss?
Well, it's too late now.
He can express yourself. You good. Express yourself.
This motherfucker hiring people on Fox News.
Oh,
And
and don't forget
Secretary of
the
Defense.
22-year-old, the 22-year-old who was like farming or something, or working as a bag boy or something like that. Over
Do
like
y'all know who was running the Department of Transportation? You know what his qualifications was?
I have no idea.
He was on a real world road rules challenge.
Shut up.
And this motherfucker put him in charge of the Department of Education. So we can't treat Donald Trump like no regular president. This man's a fool. And basically where I'm at with it now, with how he's attacked everything, how he's completely disregarded any constitutional law, you got to fight him at every turn. And with Stephen A. Smith, I want to say this. Stephen A. Smith is the classic example of a centrist that he will allow anybody to get over in the name of trying to be fair. And it's like, bro, we can't be fair with everybody because you can't treat a bad faith actor on good faith. So if you bring Donald Trump on there, y'all already said he ain't gonna admit to nothing. He gonna flat out lie, and it's not gonna be productive either way. There's a movie about Donald Trump called The Apprentice. Sebastian Stan plays Donald Trump. I forget the name of the guy who was like Donald Trump's mentor, But one thing he told them: never admit defeat, always claim victory. So you can't deal with this man the way you've dealt with other presidents. So that's all. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
That's 48 laws of power right there. I forgot what it is. I forgot what chapter it is. Okay, cool. All right. You know, I agree. I agree with a lot that you guys put out there today. I agree.
What is your stand, Norris? Or are we going to pull the Trump?
I agree with a lot. But my stance is I think he should be invited. And the reason why I think he should be invited is because of everything that you guys mentioned. And I think that's one of the things that Stephen A. really highlighted that I think we continue to miss, right? It's one of those things that it doesn't matter how bad we talk about him behind the scenes if you don't allow him to be in front of the scene and be able to call him out for the NCAA, to be able to hold him accountable for everything like Tam was saying, once they come out with the agenda, making sure that you're asking him for the right type of things. If those things don't work out, I tell people, like I told you guys a few episodes ago, this is no longer about the 4 years that Trump is doing. Everybody should be preparing for the next person in line. And if you eliminate him, you're really kind of eliminating people like J.D. Vance, who has a great chance of winning. You got people like Vivek Ramaswamy, who's about to win governor of Ohio, who has a great chance of winning. So like all these people, even though you might think you're eliminating Trump, Trump is just a pawn right now. He's just a figure piece. Like even with the war stuff, this is all written already. So I always tell people I think he should be there if you guys want to continue to hold him accountable, regardless if we think it's going to be heard or not. And then when it comes to dismantling the education system, the true reason why they want to give it to the states is not because the states already control it. States don't control the funding, though. So when you give it back to the states, and it's really going to help more PWIs if you like study up what's going on, because the PWIs take a lot of money. It's a lot of hidden donors of PWIs. When you dismantle the education system, that money now has to be whatever school in Houston that you teach at, that school's going to be responsible for their pot of money. Like they won't be asking the government for this or trying to put in grants for this. It's kind of, again, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it would dismantle like a poor school system. Like if you have a poor school system and you have those secretaries that have been in that school for 50 years, they don't know how to spend the money right, it would drop down those like majority minority schools. I agree with all that.
But Norris, real quick, the schools aren't going to be given money. It's not going to be, if you give it to the state, then it's just the state legislature is going to control that money, not the individual schools. And this just takes it back to the whole point of
has to give it down to the schools, though. You see what I mean? He's he's kind of doing what he did with COVID, right? Well, y'all don't want to listen. I'm gonna let your state deal with what y'all gonna do protocol.
Well, hold on. What I'm trying to say is the whole point of America even being founded was to have a checks and balance.
Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just explaining to you what the vision is behind it. Like
that vision takes away from democracy and the whole point. That
I agree. I told y'all. I agree with y'all. Like I'm not arguing at all with y'all at all. Like, but I'm telling you, that's what I just wanted to answer the question why they want to dismantle it. You know, like that.
They want.
I mean, they want. Yeah, because they want.
Like what David said.
They want the system to have to fix itself to a certain extent, like when he did, like I said, like we did during COVID. Everybody had different protocols. You'll go to this state, you can't do this, but you can go to this state and you can't do that. And people dying over in New York, all that type of stuff. That's what will happen if you dismantle the education system. It'll be a bunch of people trying to tell you what education should look like from their point of view. And depending on who's
sounds like a lot of chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yes. But I agree with y'all. This is not a topic I'm going to disagree with y'all on at all. Like
I'm just making sure I understand.
Yeah, but I really feel like he should be there if your plan of action is not to have another presidency like this in the next 4 years. Because these people are a team. So because I don't know if y'all know that J.D. Vance been very quiet. Only time we got to hear him talk was when they struck Iran. You see what I mean? Like
he playing his position. He don't agree with that shit.
Yeah, but you won't know these things if you continue to leave Donald Trump out of the room.
But I mean, what vice presidents do we really just hear from? That just like
I ain't gonna lie, Pence was good. When Biden was actually kind of vocal when he was with Obama, to be honest with you.
But I mean, do you really just see these vice presidents play their role in the back?
In the back, yeah.
Because they the vice, like you do.
That's true.
But thanks for explaining that.
No problem.
Still sounds chaotic to me.
I do not disagree. If I disagree, I will let y'all know. Y'all have anything plugging marks before we move on past the icebreaker? Marcus, you muted.
We can't hear you, Marcus.
I'm not muted.
There you go. We could no, not now. Okay. So let's see here. So the next topic we have here, after we got off the president, the question is there a safe space for men? So we're gonna play this video. Okay,
As you more,
I muted him. Oh, I thought I did. So let's see here.
If let's say someone broke in a house, right? And okay, family. So I just learned that a man cannot have full control and full access to his feelings. So what was explained to me is let's say someone broke in a house, right? And everyone is afraid, everyone is fearful, right? But only the woman is allowed to be scared because he then has to get up and protect his family. If they are arguing, he has to console her and he can't be consoled because she's the woman. The man can express what he feels because her feelings are supposed to be far greater than his. And I never really thought about it that way. He says, if they lose the child, everyone consoles the mother. No one consoles the father. If they lose a loved one, even though it could be his family, they always console her. How you holding up? How you doing this for him? I was like, is it really like that? See, this is why I don't like that saying, happy wife, happy life. Because it, to me, it really, even listening to that conversation, it is literally saying you as a man have to put your feelings on the back burner because the only way that your marriage or your relationship is going to be happy is if the woman is happy. Therefore, you're not allowed to think, feel, react. Like you become a robot in this relationship because only one person is important. Y'all listen.
All right. So we get the gist of it. We won't have to play the whole thing. And we're going to start off with the men. I wanted to talk about this because we are in the month of June, which is Mental Health Awareness Month for men. So I wanted to get a topic in for men. And it looks like Plug would like to start. So Plug, the floor is yours, sir.
damn it. God bless that young lady right there. But I'm in control of my own damn piece. I'm in control of my own feelings. If I want to feel, I'm going to feel. It's just simple as that. But she is correct. There is no, what class it said, absolutely not outside of God. There is no safe haven for men like us. Praise God. Praise God. So we got to take control of our own. We got to take control of our own, man. That's what I do. I can't speak for everybody on this panel, but I'm going to take control of my piece. And I'm gonna feel the way I feel, and I don't care what nobody say. Period. It says happy wife, happy life. But if I'm an unhappy husband, who gonna make you happy? So I don't know. That slogan been wrong for a long time, in my opinion. If I'm not happy, how can I make you happy? And I got to be happy because if I'm the breadwinner, in majority of these homes, the men that are with the woman, he is the breadwinner. So at the end of the day, if I'm not happy, how can you possibly be happy? It doesn't make sense. But hey, you know, we got two women on the panel tonight, so I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna enjoy this one.
All right, so we're gonna let the men go. Who want to go next? Marcus, David, which one of y'all want to go next?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
In this aspect, I always put it as whatever it is in your household is how it should go. There's some women that's comfortable with allowing their man to be emotional, then there's some that don't. For me myself, I feel like you only can be emotional in stints. You can't be emotional all the time. Like for instance, if you're super angry about something and you want to make a point, then you be angry at that moment because you letting them know this shit is for real. This is a point. I'm proving a point. 95% of the time, I'm non-emotional. She'll be yelling at me, and I'll just be like, and it's nothing, you know. I'll let my feelings be known when I'm to that point, and then they'll understand. They'll get it. Just being emotional all the time, like just be like, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh man, I'm just not feeling today. No, I'm not emotional like that at all. But I think being emotional at points in your life makes a difference than just being emotional all the time. And that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. What about you, David?
Um, I don't really know what she was on some things I didn't really understand the point she was making. For example, I'm gonna tell y'all how I treat my children because my oldest two specifically. You let them tell it. I give the other one, so much leeway. But I got a couple rules. With my son, emotionally, it's not that you can't be emotional, but you do have to be in control of your emotions. As a man, we have to learn to control. We have to control that. And the reason, in my opinion, is because if my wife get mad, and I'm talking like pissed off, unless she get a weapon, ain't nothing she can do to hurt me. But if I get mad, everybody in this house, I can put them in the hospital. So I have to be in control. And so I tell my son on that when him and my daughter are arguing, and he be like, "You always let her get her way." I'm like, "Yeah, she get that, but she can't go outside by herself. She better have somebody walking with her." I say, "You, on the other hand, the leeway you get is you can go outside by yourself. You can you ain't really tripping if you have a girlfriend. When she had a little boyfriend, I had a little different opinion about it. I'm like, so so, and I tell them I treat you fair, not the same. So that's what. So in turn, like I want to touch on one thing she said in terms of if somebody break in the house, a man can be scared. Fear is not scared. Being scared and fear, that's not a bad thing because fear gonna get your mind right. If you afraid, you're not gonna jump into a dangerous situation, without thinking. So fear is not a bad thing, but you do have to have courage. Because I've been hearing a lot of men, you go on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, you see all these little shorts and reels about men wanting to be men. Okay, well, in that instance, if somebody breaking house, yeah, whether you make the most money or what, yeah, but you got to be the man and protect your family. So you can be scared, but you got to have courage at the same time. So, and in terms of losing a child, well, a woman's going to have a different connection with a child because a woman carries that child. It's different that baby being a part of you. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
And in a lot of situations, my wife carrying, all our children, especially when they babies, it'd be a lot of stuff that she be super emotional about. And I'd be like, what you tripping on? But think it's a different kind of bond when you carry that child for however long you carry it. And but I'm gonna finish off just by saying, just by going back to, we've been hearing a lot about, men wanting to be men, women and men wanting women to be put in a woman's place. Well, part of that on that emotional tip, you got to kind of get it to a woman. And then it really comes down to, you know, can't think of the right word, but hormones.
Yeah.
Men, we get testosterone that gives us the strength that we have, and it also gives us the strength to regulate our emotions. Estrogen is going to make you react more off of those emotions. So we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about being emotional. But you can be emotional because in my house and my family in general, if I'm upset, I can let it be known, and I don't think nobody made me feel bad for it. So I'll let y'all go from here.
Okay.
I agree with David. That was the same thing I wrote down. And I just want to say this real quick. She says some like real strong statements. Like the first thing she said is a man can't have full control and access to his feelings. Disagree with that. And then she also said a man is not allowed to feel, think, whatever. I agree with David. A man has to be in control of his emotions. But as far as being, I think showing emotions and controlling your emotions and being vulnerable are two different things. But in certain situations, a man has to, and I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't be in control of her emotions either, but we're just talking about men tonight. So I think, for someone to put a man in a space where they can't show their emotions to their loved ones, whether it's a significant other, a wife, a child, or whatever, I think that is something that we do need to disrupt, that way of thinking, because men should be able to show their emotions, but in certain situations, they should know how to control those emotions. So I think that's the way we should maybe, respond instead of reacting kind of situation.
So,
And there we
okay. So, and then Alyssa and Tam, I'm gonna have to probably have you guys answer again. So, I would like to ask you ladies, what does a safe place look like with you?
Before you answer that question, let me say this.
Okay.
What the question is there a safe space for men for their emotions? But every single man that spoke said that they don't want a safe space because they're not going to show that emotion. We're not stopping you from being emotional. We're not saying, no, don't show this. As the men are out here saying, no, I'm not going to show my emotion. So I don't understand why the question truly is a question when, as men are saying, I don't want to be emotional. I'm going to be open. I am an emotional person, 100%, right? And so you're going to know, for the most part, every feeling that I feel, because my face going to show it, like it's just there. But I have no reason to hide that, right? And so I just don't, like, if you're hiding it, whether you're controlling or not, if you're choosing not to put that emotion out there, that's a choice you're making, not because of a safe space, but because you don't want to show that vulnerability.
And Tam, let me piggyback off that right quick. I don't really show my emotions in public, but my wife always knows what I'm feeling. One of them, I think one of the things that I do a lot is if I'm feeling a type of way about something, I like to address it right then and there. If I'm happy, sad, pissed off, whatever. So that when I say I don't really want to show emotion, for me, that's more so in public. At home, my lady know it. She know how I feel about everything. So
Yeah. And so, Tam,
Well, real quick, I'm sorry, Norris, real quick, with what Tam was saying, the question was saying about an emotional space, but a space for me to show emotion, but then it kind of went off into a lot of other different things.
Yeah, that's
too.
why I didn't play it all, because she started going on like a little tangent to a certain.
Yeah. So it's like, are we saying that society doesn't want men to be emotional, or we asking, do women give men a safe space to be emotional?
I think both of them could be. I think both of them could be true. Because I know she started off kind of giving examples about, like, what, when things tragic happen in life, women are consoled and things like that, and the man, like, people don't really worry about the man. So I think it'll kind of be both questions. Is there a safe space for men to be emotional, and then also, do we feel society in a whole allows men to be emotional?
And to me, that really also goes back to cultural upbringing, right? Like, that's saying, like, especially with you bringing this up because of the mental health stuff, that goes back to saying, well, are men going to go to counseling because they don't know how to control that emotion and they need to have that thing? And like, I'll say, I made a comment the other day to a friend of mine. I've had 15 new male clients this month, right? And so like just kind of speaking that up into and every single one I've said, I am so proud of you for coming to get help for this. I'm, just so that they can see, but men have to want that, right?
You cute, Tam.
Be okay.
You cute. That's why you got 15.
But not all of them. Okay, so let's talk about how many men are in here, right? So the majority isn't willing to take that help because they are, oh, I'm a man and I can't, right? Like, so men have to be willing to put that pride aside and be able to say, you know what? I may not be able to handle my emotions. Let me figure out how I can tell my spouse or whatever my emotions without that. And on Plug, I want to say one thing. We have changed that. It's happy spouse, happy house, because both people matter.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Let me go up here and read some of these comments. So we've seen the beginning of what Classic said. April said, men run across these women that they can't be vulnerable with. You can protect me and still be open with your emotions.
Yeah.
I think people agree with that. And then Classic said covered his he covered this on his channel yesterday. Who's responsible for teaching a person? I think this is even better one too for you guys, listen, Tam. Who is responsible for teaching a person how to be a safe space to another person? Most people don't know how to be a safe space. I think that'll be a good one for you guys because I know Tam.
I mean, David spoke to that already. That comes from at home. That comes from teaching your children how to open that up. Like that's life. That's home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a partner. That's a friend. That's a confidant. You know what I mean? Like as you build these friendships and you build these relationships with the men that are in your circumference, you also have to, you got to know who you're dealing with, man. You know what I mean? Like I got to know that if I get this information in North, that everything's gonna be all right, everything gonna be protected, that I'm protected. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm dealing with another protector. I'm dealing with another, a strong man. So when I'm giving him, what I'm feeling and what I'm going through, that's a safe space. Even if I don't want to give this to, my lady, because I feel like, she's not emotionally mature enough to take it or accept it.
Mm-hmm.
I can bring it to my circle. The men in my circle. If I can't bring this to the men in my circle, then what am I doing? I got the wrong friend circle. I didn't choose wisely. I didn't choose wisely and getting a confidant to express these things too.
And one thing I want to say about like when I deal with my son, and both of my sons, my 14 and my 6-year-old, express yourself. Don't crash out. That's really what I try to teach. Especially with my younger son. He gets real, little things. He get little OCD. If he want everybody, when we all on the couch, he want everybody to sit in one particular way. And if one person don't do it, he gonna lose his mind. I always tell him, all right, but I need you to tell me why that made you mad. And it's like pulling teeth, getting him to say it. But once I do, he usually calm down. So, and that's like I said, that's what I just say about it's okay to be emotional, but as men, you gotta be in control, especially as Black men, because if we get mad and we go out in the world and we get mad, you know what time it is for us. So you can be mad, but you got to be or however you feel, sad, happy, whatever, but you got to be in control.
Yeah. The older I've gotten,
go ahead.
The older I've gotten, I've been way better in controlling my emotions. You know what I mean?
I'm a work in progress.
Yeah. How old are you, Dave?
35.
Yeah. I was still working.
36 in 2 months.
Yeah. That 10 years ago, player. I got some chi going on, boy. Some Tibetan beads or something, boy.
Like I understand, and we're gonna read a lot more of the comments. I understand where the comments are coming from, but I think this is something And I think it's just so different when you work in the mental health world. You just see things from a totally different viewpoint. I think a lot of individuals lack the ability to know how to communicate.
100%.
So you think something's not
Effectively communicate.
you think something's not safe because you don't know how to communicate, and then that person that you call your person doesn't know how to communicate with you either. And that's something that I always tell people is that you have to learn how to communicate, because somebody who's your safe space, they can ask you one question, and just the way they ask it will make you comfortable enough to talk about what's going on. Like, I feel like there are safe spaces out there. And then also, life is all about lessons at the end of the day. You know, I'm sure all of us here gonna have somebody we call best friends that we thought we can tell anything to. You told them they wasn't a safe space, and you learn from it. But I don't think you should shut off trying to find people to speak to just because of one bad experience. And then going on, so Classic been on a rampage in here. What he said? He said pressure made for shoulders, not hips. He said parents aren't even a safe space. This is what Tam was talking about. And you hear your mama talking to
Well, this is what I was gonna.
Go ahead, Lisa. I was even one thing.
Okay.
Culturally, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly what he said. Men are stopping it. So you calling them soft just because they showing their emotion. You culturally stopping that.
No, not necessarily. It's a
You need to cut it out.
Being emotional and being overly emotional. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't hold water, Classic. I ain't feeling like
I can't tell you. I
don't have a choice.
Well, fool, man. I say could have.
Well, and I'm gonna say this in my teacher space, and I know teachers complain about this because we have to be social workers, mamas, daddies, aunties, grandmas, counselors. We have to be all of this, but that's totally what I take that very seriously with teaching children how to express themselves and how to identify emotions, because they don't even know how to identify how they're feeling. And so like our morning circles, you know, I used to get a lot of flack about that, especially in kindergarten last year, because my morning circle would go like 20, 25 minutes in the beginning of the school year, because I'm like, no, my students need to understand this is a safe space. You can have your emotion, but let me help you regulate that and talk about what can you do. If you get mad, you can't pick up a pencil and go stab somebody with it because they took your crayon, but you can express that you're upset and you need some space. You can express that, and it's okay, you know, and teaching children like anger is okay, but let's just talk about how do we show it. Like, you can't just, you know, walk in somewhere and just start attacking people because you're angry. So I think that's breaking those kind of generational curses with boys, telling them that they soft if they express themselves. Like, it's okay to express yourself, but you ain't got to break down and cry and we get out the violin and, you know, but you can say, hey, you made that comment last night, you know, that hurt my feelings. Like, I felt some way about that. And then I'll be like, oh, I didn't know. I'm just messing with you. I didn't know you took it that serious. My bad. You know, but we don't know how to do that and just say that. So
say life tough, get it in me. It's savage, man.
So as we're talking about this and emotions, I want to get Tam on this because I know you got to leave right at 9. So I want to.
Lord, Classic, no.
Yeah, he said what he said.
The emotion talk is a gateway drug to boys liking boys. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Hey.
Take the phone from him. Take the keyboard. Take all of it.
I'm telling you, hey, but he ain't lying.
I'll let Tam go because I think she gotta go. So I think Norris want her to say so.
No, I want to do this video with her so we can get her opinion. This is the B Simone. I found a cleaner version.
We ain't gonna talk about the women and the marriage and the.
We are, but I want her to be able to catch this. B Simone.
Okay.
Thanks to Classic, I actually went to Chanel Simone's channel to get a cleaner version because Coach JB, I didn't like the white man calling the black lady the B word over and over.
I was just like,
I was like, I gotta find me a cleaner version of this. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? I did not agree with how Smitty let him do that. So
it was rough.
Yeah. So let me so shout out to Classic. Classic used this earlier today. So this is actually a reaction that's kind of going to sum up B Simone. So let's go.
All it takes for you to come down to reality, B Simone, is one wrong post. You are one viral video away, one internet canceling away from being back at Forever 21 selling shit.
He called it.
damn.
Who B Simone is planning to get sympathy from. And you know what's so crazy to me, Just?
Yeah.
The people are the reason that we're in the positions that we're in.
Yeah.
Like, ain't she the stand-up comic,
Yeah,
right?
she is.
If your audience feels like they can't relate to you in no way, shape, or form, and they feel like you look down upon them because
you'll lose them.
Because exactly. Like, damn, B. Like, why did she even put that out?
Because it shouldn't be a disconnect.
No.
At all. And working hard people, like people that work hard and buy tickets, they the ones that we need. You know what I'm saying? We need them to keep buying tickets and to keep supporting us and to keep streaming our podcasts and things like that. So
working class people. So it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice now for your future? I'm sorry you can't shop at Bloomingdale's right now, and I'm sorry H&M makes you cry.
A woman who's a 6 or a 7, like a B Simone, no insult intended. She's cute. She ain't fine. She's cute. B Simone, Jill Scott, like that in the face. All of a sudden, when the 8s, 9s, and 10s are gone, the 6s and 7s automatically get all the 8, 9, and 10 shine because the 8s, 9s, and 10s are simply gone. It's not as though those women actually got better, that the other women are just gone. And when you get all of that attention, that when you saw your friends who were 8, 9, and 10, and you were 6 or 7, and they're gone, now you're getting 8, 9, and 10 attention, you feel like the woman. And you start to overinflate your SMV, your actual value. So like a B Simone, no offense, you start to actually feel like you should get a man who's the master of the universe. Especially if you're an attorney or a psych chick, you got a college degree or something like that.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations.
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want to have an honest job?
All right. So if you see there, pretty much a long story short, this was almost predicted that this crash out was coming for B Simone, which is crazy when you think about it. So I want to start with Tam before you have to get off of here. Do you feel that her emotions or her feelings were valid, that she couldn't no longer shop at Bloomingdale's and had to go to H&M?
Bullshit, bitch.
So I mean, I think we all know it's bullshit, right? Like I shop wherever. I don't know. I go to Walmart and be excited. Have you seen what they have lately? I need to keep my coins. But in the reality, like I think in the sense of her speaking out like that, I understand when you get comfortable with a certain lifestyle that it is difficult to bring yourself back, but to talk about it and to make it as if it's a disgrace is where she completely, to me, messed up, right? Like I mean, I hold a certain lifestyle based on my income, right? So if I lose, well, no, I won't because I have savings. But if I had to step back to say, okay, I need to pull myself down a minute because of, I'm not making what I was making or whatever, it's just a step down until I come back up, right? Like it's not something I need to put on blast, for one. And it's not something I have to degrade anybody else in saying just because I did. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. What about you, Lisa? What you think about the situation?
Who is her PR person? Like,
Girl.
baby girl. Like, I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with H&M? I mean, even Cardi B shop at Fashion Nova, and Cardi B got Cardi B money, so I don't know why she did that. I don't know. I honestly don't really follow her that well, so I don't know what brought her rise to fame. I think I saw her on a reality show or something. I don't know where I saw her from. But yeah, she kind of did that to herself, and she just need a better team of people to say, baby, you don't say everything you thinking, especially when you have a platform like that. Because like just Hilarious was saying, the people, the things that you're degrading are your audience. That's where your audience go. That's where they shop. That's what they do. Even people who have money.
Yeah.
I mean, H&M ain't the cheapest place to go.
No.
So I don't know. And I mean, you have celebrities buying things from TikTok shop. You have people buying stuff from Temu. So it's like, yeah, she did that to herself, and I have no sympathy for her. God bless her.
What you think, David? What's your thoughts about it?
I don't know if I'm out of touch. I'm gonna ask the fellas this one. If you fine, you fine. Don't give a damn about what no girl got on. I ain't never said, I don't want to follow her, man. Look at what she wearing. Looking at that. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even understand I don't even understand why she made that a thing. It's like, if you like that, you can make an outfit, you can get an outfit from anywhere. And if you look good, you're gonna look good in it. Like I say, I don't know what women look for in men, but I know most of the guys I know, we ain't checking for a girl based off of what she wearing. So I don't even understand. And and if you upset that you can't shop there, I was talking to Alyssa about this the other day. I didn't even know who this woman was before you sent the video.
Yeah.
Because I'm not online like that.
I heard that a lot of people said that.
So I mean, that's just a stupid thing. Why would you even post? That's dumb.
Super.
I don't understand it. And then
Maybe
one thing,
she thought we was gonna feel sorry for her.
That just shows you out of touch. But I remember, have y'all ever seen Dope?
Yeah.
You remember that scene where they trying to I think it's somebody selling, like, I only seen it once, so forgive me, but there's a scene like where it's some knockoff purses and some knockoff clothes, and the guy that was selling them, he was like, you could go buy something real, but you being you, we gonna think if you rocking that, it is fake because of who you are. Rich people usually buy a rich girl or a girl that looked like she rich, she could buy a knockoff and we ain't never going to suspect nothing. I remember Chad Johnson was talking about that.
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco, rather.
Fake
He was
jewelry.
saying when he was in the league, he was buying fake jewelry. For what? You know what? Y'all know who I am. So if you see it on me, you think it's real.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is just a stupid thing. And how old is she?
She probably mid-30s for sure.
Okay,
but
so
I
she
heard
around my age.
somebody else was like, welcome to adulthood. Like,
yeah,
you shouldn't have just wasted your money and just buy whatever. If you was, especially, I feel like if you an entrepreneur, you have to have a mindset of, there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be ups and downs. And I have to make sure I'm prepared for when I'm in a flowing moment, or when I'm not going up, when I'm just coasting, or even if I hit, start crashing out a little bit, I got to have some kind of reserve, especially with, these brand deals that, a lot of times they're like net 60, they, maybe net 90, maybe a net 30. You're not going to get that money instantly.
How many people don't even know what you just said about a net 30, net 60, and a net 90?
Well,
they don't know nothing about that. Let me tell you something. In my industry, I see it all the time, Melissa.
Wow. I mean, you have
what is getting money hand over fist. You know what I mean? And just blowing
through it because you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna keep having it. And then something recently just come up where like her friend was struggling and she wasn't helping the friend, and now you want us to have sympathy for you, child.
Yeah.
And I think
I didn't know she always played victim.
Yeah,
I didn't know who she was. So
yeah, I think a lot of the younger people know, because I want to say she was on Wild 'N Out too.
Yeah, she was on Wild 'N Out.
at a certain
That's
point.
what it was.
I mean, that's the only place you would know her from, bro.
Maybe that's what I seen her on a commercial because I don't even really watch Wild 'N Out.
No, that's the only place you would have seen her. I don't see her nowhere but on Wild 'N Out. Baby girl, that little stuff she do, man. She ain't even that funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used to watch Wild 'N Out, and I still don't know.
Like the comments that she was making, like you can't deal with a dude with a 9 to 5. Like, even though it's gonna be a small percentage of people that's gonna agree with her, like you don't even say shit like that. Cause you like Kevin saying was saying, you are only one bad show, one bad, one fire or one post away from
it's all right, Vaya.
From being right back.
But I think
it's cool if you know.
Well, I mean, and it's women like her that makes some of the things Kevin Samuels say feel like it's the truth.
It is,
and it's a very small. It's a very small. It doesn't represent all women, but unfortunately,
you gotta when you're exceptional, you can't just do that, Alyssa. When you on another level, you can't put yourself in the fold and try to be you put your cape on for these bald bullshit bitches.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah,
you understand? It's just like this is what we speak on. We speak on these bitches who are out of sorts. They're out of sorts. They have no connection with what reality is. They have no connection of what real women are, real men are. They have no. They don't even if you come from a broken home, you can try to learn and see what a real household look like. If you don't know what a real woman's supposed to be, your ass should be trying to find out what a real. You need to do your research and try to find out to be a better woman. Bottom line, if you're a sorry ass, lazy ass man, ain't nothing worse than a sorry nigga. And if you one of them, you need to get around somebody who doing something so you can be influenced to be a better man. You understand? So don't put yourself in the fold with these raggedy bullshit bitches. Now, if you an exception, be that. And don't come to the rescue of these bitches. If she ain't call you to say she wants some mentorship, let that bitch drown. let her ass drown. Let her drown in that long ass pool.
I think it's two things too that goes with this subject. The first one I'm gonna address is men. We're at fault for people like her because all those desires and everything that she wanted, that she talked about, she got. That's why she continued to live the lifestyle she was living. Sometimes we exacerbate these situations for people, and I know we don't like to accept it. I'm sure Classic ain't gonna agree, but a lot of times, men, this is what you call simps and men pandering. When a man is taking somebody like B. Simone, who looks like an everyday girl that you'll find at your middle school and high school, and put her on a pedestal, and then she starts to live this life that she think is realistic. That's the men who created that vision for her, and that's why she ran with it. And then secondly, I feel like us in the Black community, we have to talk more and more about financial literacy. Like I feel like this is our biggest problem. We see it in the sports world. We see it in college with these NILs and deals. We have to start educating our people. That's why I was kind of looking like, man, you on Wild 'N Out with one of the most wealthiest men in the world, Nick Cannon, and you don't know how to save your money or invest or do something else on the side to make you some money.
But who's to say somebody wasn't telling her?
That's true.
And she didn't listen.
Oh, okay, Class, he agreed. Okay, we agree. Yeah. We agree today. Okay. I always think about that because I see it on TikTok all the time. I be seeing men watching women lives. It be 100, 200 people. 199 of them be men. This woman should not have 200 men watching her. You just look at her, you be like, then you'll get somebody like Lisa on social media, and she trying to get her following up, and you like, okay, what's the? But then you see what's going on because that overweight lady or that unattractive lady, she's gonna be naked 90% of the time.
Yeah,
she's gonna be half naked, revealing something, and men just buy into it, man. We create these B. Simones, dog. Like we create this stuff.
And one thing I want to say about y'all mentioning that she was around Nick Cannon. Maybe her problem was instead of trying to learn and to level up like Nick, she was probably trying to match his lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or get pregnant by him.
Or kiss ass.
Well,
that might not have been hard to do.
You get pregnant by him, he paid for your life for the rest of your life.
There you go.
Big mistake we made as Black culture. we equate the ability to acquire
having personality and character. That's first and foremost. That's the fucking that be the problem. We already discussed it before, remember Classic? We discussed it already.
But do y'all think it's black culture plug in class, or do y'all think
Hell yeah, because we the leader of the culture.
But do you think social media though?
Man, we some of the goofiest motherfuckers on the planet sometimes, man. We gotta have this, we gotta have that, we gotta have this, we gotta have that. Me myself, hey, as much as I try to put way more than I spend. Don't get shit twisted. Yeah. Hey, I'm a coupon or two, boy. If I'm hit polo, boy, I bet you I'm gonna hit the outlet. It's gonna be 30%. I'm gonna have me a 25% coupon with my 10% military veteran. Hey, I'm trying to get it as low as I possibly can. You understand me?
Hey, even LeBron James pay for the commercials on Hulu.
Yeah.
You feel me? It is what it is.
So
like, but we
all about your mindset. Like, what is
the lanes got money, man, and they letting these bullshit bitches.
But it's
ain't nothing wrong with H&M.
But plug, it's our people.
Damn sure ain't.
But plug, it's our people too, because you know you got people who judge people by the vehicles they drive.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't you? Now, damn it, don't you do it? Don't you do it? Hey, but hey, guess what? I checked that shit though. You already know how I get down on. You know I gotta put a sidebar on the bitch. Like, hold on, my nigga, let me talk to you for a second. Man. Don't you ever do that. Because you never know who the fuck that walked in this door. You have no clue who walked in this door, bro. I treat everybody the mother insane. It has nothing to do with your revenue, player. Your revenue stream has nothing to do with how I treat you, boy. If I'm trying to tell you, if you feel like plug ain't vibing with you, it's you, nigga. You I got Korean homeboys, white homeboy, goddamn Chicos, everybody. Everybody can be in this circle, man. Everybody. But when you're not, it's your fault. It's your fault. So hell no. So you know, hey, damn, boy, you put that shit out. I hope that nigga watching. I hope he watching, bro.
It's okay. It's okay.
Cause he seen what happened today. He saw what happened today. I had to let him in on the little secret. You know what I'm talking about? I had to show him something because he was talking shit. Hey, he was talking shit about 2 months ago, and I was like, okay, that's good, bro. No pressure.
She said social media Susie
that's true.
looking to see what Tammy has. Now Susie wants what Tammy has. But where you get these country names from? Susie doesn't do so she gets in debt just trying to match Tammy. That's very true.
And that's green. That's jealousy. That's envy.
Yeah.
That's covey. You conveying. Like, who is on that type of time, bro? Well, bro, hey, if you pulled up with something new, I'm gonna say, boy, hey, take me for a spin. My partner, hey, I'm celebrating with my partner. I'm be like, man, take me for a spin in a new whip, bro. Let's go, let's slide, bro. And then when we go by, hey, man, you get low, let me put some gas in my boy car. I know you just spent a little ticket on the car. Let me put some gas in my dog car. I'm gonna celebrate with my people, man. I don't be on that type of shit. That jealousy shit, that shit lame as fuck, man.
Yeah, that's very true, man. Social media is all envy and jealousy, but it depends on how you move on. Yes.
Tell them, Val.
That's very
preach.
True. If you're using your daddy money, yeah, baby. Ooh, geez. Here. So, man, I kind of wish Tam was here for Alyssa for this last topic that we're gonna wrap up, but I guess it's Alyssa. It's always Alyssa getting
It's always me, and y'all always want to spend the negativity with the women, but it's fine. It's fine.
So let's go here. So let's see what this young lady has to say. Let's see here. Let's move it on back.
I've seen a lot of the times where men actually wife up women that don't really have much at all going on for themselves. They just know how to own their femininity, and they know how to just be a woman overall.
Thank you, April.
Like Mika was saying with the masculinity, it's not a brownie point or a trophy for you to say, oh, I have this and I have that. Like, I was talking to a few of my guy friends, asking them, and it's funny because I see that a lot of the times the women that are beautiful, smart, charismatic, like they have all the things that like you would think would grab a man is not what a man actually wants.
Do y'all need to hear
I've
that
seen
one
a
more
lot of the
time?
time.
Y'all need to hear that one more time, or y'all got it?
I think I got the gist of it.
So she's basically saying women who have things together, smart, beautiful, you know, these are the
exactly
ones.
why I don't dress like.
Those are the ones that are typically not married. And it's the, you know, quote unquote uneducated, maybe coming from a poor background. You know, when I say poor, like maybe, you know, not having a lot, but those are the girls that are winning, basically, is what she was saying, right?
Yeah. April said, my bad, April. let me
run it back. Okay, play it again. Play it again.
One more time. Let me see it. Let's see here. Let me break it up to the screen. Let's see here. April must was talking to Susan.
Or Tammy.
Times where men wife up women that don't really have much at all going on for themselves. They just know how to own their femininity, and they know how to just be a woman overall. And like Mika was saying with the masculinity, it's not a brownie point or a trophy for you to say, "Oh, I have this and I have that." Like I was talking to a few of my guy friends, asking them, and it's funny because I see that a lot of the times, the women that are beautiful, smart, charismatic, like they have all the things that like you would think would grab a man.
Yeah. So what it sounds like she was saying is that in life, the undesirable woman normally gets the man due to she's able to do the simple things, you know, being submissive, being there, all those type of things. And then the woman who's more charismatic, beautiful, might be more independent, they tend to have a hard time getting the man.
Because majority of the time, bro, Buddy then went through that and found out little mama who is that desirable and is that fine, and whatever the case, come with a fucking headache. She should come with a whole bottle of Excedrin. You know what I'm saying? Like she's a headache. It's always a gimme. You can't build with somebody where you got to gimme. You know what I mean? And you feel like you're that monkey. You feel like, you know what I'm saying, that tail feather. And you feel like, you know what I'm saying, what you look like is the currency. And dude get like soon enough, y'all don't have to act right because niggas getting sharp out here now. They ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe no more. They ain't falling for the boo-boo you no more. Ain't nobody falling for that no more. You got to come with something. You got to come with some substance. Bottom line, you got to come with some substance, man. There ain't nobody just gonna let you. Yeah, pretty much. Trash personality. And I'm telling you, bottom line, that's what it looked like, man. Men are looking for long term. I think a lot of cats are out there looking for long terms, and I think most of these bros are for lease and not finance.
What you think, Melissa? What you being a beautiful woman that you are,
being a beautiful, charismatic, very intelligent, master's degree, educated woman, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on it, and it's so funny because I watched a YouTube clip on this very topic, and I 100% agree with it. But the reason why you see women that are smarter, you know, that are the smart women, have things going on, boss women, whatever, a lot of times they are single, is because they're not easily manipulated. You notice the men in power, they're going to go for those young women, those very green, vulnerable women. Oftentimes women who are coming from backgrounds where maybe, you know, they want to come out of a certain lifestyle to live a better lifestyle. Well, a woman that have all these things in place, that worked on herself, that have these boundaries in place, know who she is, can easily walk away from things. Yeah, it is going to be a little bit more difficult for them to get into something serious because they're going to take their time, but they're also not going to be easily manipulated. And I'm going to go back to this clip I saw on YouTube where they brought up a study that was done. And it said every woman that had a median IQ of 100, just at the median 100, and if it was increased by 16 points, it was like, I wrote down the statistic, I think like a 40% chance, 35% chance that she was single. And a lot of the times it's because you got to think about how what marriage was back in the day, right? When a woman was getting married to a man long time ago, she was seen as property. She was seen as like ownership, and men could be in control of the situation. Women had to tolerate what the men do. But now, and classic, that's fine. You can disagree with whatever you want to disagree with, but that's what it
Hey,
is.
classic on your ass tonight.
Hey, when he get in savage mode, ain't no stopping, bro.
Classic has I don't know, so he's had some very terrible experiences with women, and I'm sorry that it happened to him. And there is going to be one woman out there one day that I hope will treat you much better, but that's what it is. And if you listen to the rhetoric of what people will say when a man is with a woman like that, a lot of times I'm like, oh, she's spicy. Oh, she's gonna be too hard to control. You need to, like, look at the housewives. A lot of times when the women are saying these things, the men are like, you need to get your woman in check. You need to control her. No, you're not gonna do that with a woman who knows who she is and can spot the BS and can walk away from it. A lot of times women, I've been one of those women myself, who, like we say, we see red flags, but we ignore them. So that strong woman that know who she is, went back to school and got her degrees, worked on herself, it is going to be a lot difficult to manipulate and control her.
Miss Alyssa.
Classic. Vaya said you get classic. Vaya said you get the
Thank
threes.
you.
You get the threes. You got to get you a 10.
Baby, because ain't nothing about me a 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Okay.
What's a red flag? Like, can you give me 2 examples of a red flag? I'm a little green to the red flag.
Oh, there are like so many ways that
I got a very unique outlook on this. Go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
So one red flag could be someone when you tell them, hey, you know, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. But they keep calling and they keep texting and they like, oh, well, share your location with me. Red flag. I said I'm going to bed. Good night, sir.
Damn.
You had that happen, Lisa?
No.
Oh, I'm saying that's bad. That's bad.
I'm a hell of an example. I'm a hell of an example. Like, what psychopath you been with?
A red flag could be someone who is trying to be controlling.
Yo,
someone who, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I got 4 girls, and one of the things that when they really get to dating, to me, the number one red flag, you know, just is when you get with a man or a woman, because a woman can do this too, that wants to isolate you, that wants you to see your people, whether it's your friends, your family, less than what you normally do. That's, to me, the number one red flag. But go ahead, listen.
Yeah, I have had that happen to me before.
You know what, though? I don't think there's no such thing as red flags. And the reason why I say that is because when you think deep, we all create our version of red flags off of what we go through or lessons we learn or things that we seen. Because what you might think a red flag, the next woman might think, oh my God, I can't believe he want to share his location and my location. And like, you get certain people, I'm serious, you get some, I always feel that nobody has red flags. You just have things that you no longer are willing to tolerate due to your past experiences. I don't think those are red flags, because that red flag could be a green flag for the right person. You know what I mean? You take somebody so I always tell people, I think red flag was just something that we came up with just to go viral and for people to be able to make a subject line. But I don't feel there's no such thing as a red flag, because what somebody else might hate, another person might love it. So how can it really be a red flag? You know what I mean? So I never really believed in that. I never believed in red flags. It might be I tell people, I call them non-negotiables. Like, what are your non-negotiables? You know what I mean?
So listen, if Buddy comes into a relationship with you, right? And he say, listen, I'm the type of man where, you know what I'm saying, I like for you to always keep your location on. I want to know where you at all times. I see you got this 1996, Honda Civic out here. You know what I'm saying? I know something gonna go wrong with it. Tie, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And if something go wrong, I need to know how to get to you. So I want you to keep your location on. But that's a red flag for you. You say, no, I ain't keeping my location.
Okay. Yeah, sharing my location with you, like, what you mean? Like when I first meet you? You mean? Yeah, that's.
Thank you, listen. I think that's just my opinion. I think that's weird. I think sharing location.
You got trust issues.
I'm just asking. I just see if that was a red flag
well,
because
for me,
it's somebody who wife that his wife had broke down on the side of the road and her phone had died or whatever the case may be, and he couldn't find her.
But those are worst case scenarios.
Like, yeah. And here's what I would do.
Now I want to keep a goddamn location on all the time. And that's how he say that's how he protect. He said.
So
I don't agree, but I'm just asking.
Now what I would do, like let's say I'm traveling somewhere, that I don't know, I feel uncertain, I might drop a location then, but just to share my location all the time, that just seems unhealthy to me.
Yeah.
So
and let's really dig a little deeper into why we need to do that.
Okay.
So for me with just that location thing, with me and my wife and the kids, we always share our locations, but
I share my
think it's
location
different
with you too. So
yeah, I think it's different with me and my wife though, because we've been together for a long time. It's not a trust thing. It's really more of a because the way we communicate, sometimes with my work schedule, her work schedule, it's more so for me with her. Like I don't really think she do that with me, but she'd work like 40 minutes away. So sometimes I just grab my phone, check her location, make sure she made it to work safe, that kind of thing. But but I want to get to what we was talking about on the video
because we said his name too many times and now he's here. With the bull.
With the video, what the woman was talking about, I'm a little confused because she was kind of vague in like the type of woman that can't get a man. So I'm just gonna go off what your interpretation was, listen, about like a woman who's built herself up, things like that. And I kind of touched on this last episode I was on. I think it's easier to stay together if you get together young, just because you each have room to grow. So it's certain things like you don't know, like at that time, and I also talked about what you said, Norris. You don't really know your non-negotiables, so you learn it. And so if you look at the marriages that last, a lot of times, especially like you consider our parents, aunties, uncles, a lot of them they got married in their 20s, and they've been together for a long time because they grew together. I think it's harder when you go like let's just assume you go to college, you got a great career, and you wasn't really in a serious relationship until you got like 28, 29, 30 years old. Well, now you've kind of set in your ways. So you have more non-negotiables. It's like it's certain things that off rip you ain't gonna tolerate because you in the back of your mind, I can do this on my own. I don't really need you. And that can go men and women. So, but like I said, going back to the video, I don't really know what she was talking about because being smart, beautiful, charismatic, that don't necessarily mean you got your stuff together. You can have those traits at 16 years old. So, and me personally, I like a girl with some charisma. I like a girl to be smart. I want to be able to be with a woman. I mean, if you're attracted to a woman, you're gonna do what you do when you first meet them.
What you said, listen.
I said because you're not a manipulator. That's why.
But she was a little vague on. But it's like her description of this woman. It's a little vague. Those are some characteristics that you can have whether you ain't got nothing going on or you can be really successful. So that was her description was kind of vague.
I think
so. I'll let y'all go.
I think a lot of these topics that we hear before I let Classic go in, I think a lot of these topics that we hear from these women, it's them speaking to us out loud. that lady is sitting in that chair wondering, how am I still single? How am I not the catch? How do I keep getting passed up? Most of the time, when you really hear people, they telling you like, I can't believe I'm beautiful. I think I'm a 10. I'm charismatic. I got my stuff together. She's really telling you like, I keep getting chose over, and she's trying to find the answer now. So everywhere she goes, she's going to talk about that topic. That's
Damn.
Well, until she changed her mindset and quit thinking she wasn't chosen. First of all, baby girl, no ma'am. That you got to let go of that mindset. But I don't know if that's the mindset she's thinking of, because that ain't never came out of my mouth. I ain't never been like, well, why I ain't? No.
Most of these bitches are single though. Most of these bitches by themselves, boy. Hey, boy, it's a smorgasbord out here for the single player out here. It's a smorgasbord. I'm trying to tell you, it's a smorgasbord. Because these bitches are single. I'm talking about these bitches are at home alone.
And but as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, they're choosing to be alone.
But you know what I think it is, Lisa? And before, you know the analogy I give the men today? I think, you know, have y'all ever had a lemon car, like a buy here, pay here car? Y'all ever had one of those in your life? Okay, so just none of y'all never had a bougie people on here.
I ain't never had a lemon. I know what you're talking about though.
Okay. Hey, look at y'all. Started off with one of those in the military. So I always think about it that way. Like as a man, you get that lemon, right? And you putting so much into it. It's breaking down. You putting new parts on it. You improving it. You think because if you keep the oil change, it ain't gonna stop on you, and it just keeps breaking down on you no matter what work you put into it. That's what I think those 10s are. And then a man finally gets enough money, get his credit up, and he's able to go to that new lot that allows you to bring your car back every 10,000 miles to get a free oil change. They give you coffee when you walk in the lobby. They do all these nice things for you. That's that 6, 7, and 8 that we talking about in women. That person who knows that they're lacking some things, right? Because if y'all think about a car salesman can see your bad credit, but they'll put you in something new. It's just not what you asked for. They'll put you in a Kia Forte before you can get the Kia Sorento. So, but they make you feel good, right? Because now you're in a new car, you got the new smell, there's 0 miles on it, you getting all the upkeep, all the maintenance for up to 100,000 miles. That's what the 6, 7s, and 8s are for men today. We're looking for the person who I'm no longer finna keep putting all this money into that 10 because that Mercedes that was a lemon looked great. The interior was beautiful. The car looked amazing when I pull up to the club. She's eye candy on my arm.
Well, see, that's the problem. You got to stop going to the used car lot for the Mercedes. You got to go to the real place for the Mercedes.
But most women are used.
Most men are used.
It ain't the same.
Go, guys. I'm gonna let you go.
You're not gonna do that.
Hey, it's just
when that dugout wore out, boys. Over.
April,
that dugout wore out, boys.
Some men don't want an already made woman. The man isn't needed financially or for stability.
He can't easily control and manipulate her.
I didn't see that in a woman that doesn't necessarily needs a man financially or stability is not attractive.
If a man is
what I mean by
a man shouldn't have to mold me into anything.
Before class go on,
you just a perfect puzzle piece, huh?
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but you're gonna love
me. Ain't no molding. No, ain't no molding.
But this is why Classic's doing the women's panel, y'all. He's trying to let women be able to speak without men giving their opinion. So April, Lissa, all y'all women who want to be able to speak,
I'm down. I'll do it. I have no problem.
I put that plug in there for you.
For sure. I appreciate it.
As the 40 plus, beautiful, fine, attractive, very educated woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you.
I'm not here asking nobody to take
I know
care
you.
of me or...
We know you. We know you. We know you. Just another day on the internet. All the women single and perfect.
I
Single
didn't
and
say I was
perfect.
perfect. I did not say I was
Not
perfect.
you, the woman in the video. Oh, I'm beautiful, I'm charming, I'm charismatic, I'm this, I'm that. I don't have no man. I just don't know. Men just might not be attractive. No. You don't have a problem getting a man. Most women alive with a pulse, even on my 600-pound life, don't have a problem getting a man. Women have sustainability issues. Most women can't keep a man. And because they don't acknowledge the fact that they no, because the same dude that you said wasn't good enough, he moved on and got a wife. We definitely will. Every time a woman be like, oh, my ex is this, my ex is that, your ex will move on and get a wife and start a family and have kids in a house and everything. And you still talking about
my exes on here and they will not say those things about me.
Then that means you've been choosing bad a long time.
I haven't been. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna call my exes bad. I'm not, because I'm not here to bash them either. But have I made some choices that was not from an emotionally healed situation? Absolutely. But a relationship requires two emotionally safe people, not just a female.
I've heard this 1 million times over. I've heard this 1 million times over. It's a situation where the woman doesn't understand.
Where did everybody go?
Why he's making this a me versus you thing, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Let's do this.
It's a situation where the women have sustainability issues, and it's always the man's fault. And so, because of the fact that they always think it's the man's fault, they don't fix their own issues, and then they have sustainability issues forever. That woman that just was on that video, she's gonna get older and older and older, and her results are not gonna change until she looks at herself.
So I can't sit here and put that on all women. Maybe there are some women like that, but when you get to a reflective approach, that's because you have done work, and that just comes with growth and age and maturity. And that's going to be on both sides, because I've had exes who come back and say, you know what, I've done some things that wasn't right. I had some time to think back on it, and I've done some things, and some of the choices I made was not right. And I think all of my exes will say, yeah, I fumbled, I messed up. But I can also look at my relationships and say, you know what, I didn't do some things right either. And that comes with emotional maturity. That doesn't happen overnight.
I'm not even gonna combat nothing you said, because you're speaking from your personal experiences. So I can't combat your experiences. All I could say is, at some point, all women that are in a certain situation that actually want love, they want a companion, not the ones that are saying they don't need it and they're fine without it, but the ones who actually desire it and they do claim that they need it. For those women who are not having success, at some point they have to ask themselves, if I'm this perfect catch that I keep describing myself as, why haven't I been caught? I don't know any catches that nobody's trying to catch. I've never heard of such a thing.
Okay, so I'm going to agree a little bit with what you're saying, but disagree with why am I not a catch? That ain't never crossed my mind. But I will agree that I did come to a point, and I'm just speaking for me personally, I did come to a point where I had to look back on the choices I made. So I will agree with that. I will 100% agree, because I think you said something like, oh, well, those were your bad choices. I'm not going to really just say they were bad choices, but I will agree that maybe, there were some situations I put myself in that I probably should have made some better choices. I will agree with that. But I ain't never asked why I ain't got caught.
Well, it's linear, right? So when I hear a woman say that her exes are married and have children, then that lets me know she knows how to pick a decent man, but she's fumbling or was fumbling earlier in her life. If a woman says my exes are still out here in these streets running around, then that tells me that said woman was choosing the wrong type of men earlier in her life. But either way, it's one of those situations where, regardless, our experiences tell about where we were at that time. You know what I mean? I just think that some women don't understand why they have become unsatisfiable. Like, if a woman says to me, it takes two, and it's the man, like you just said, sometimes it could be the man's fault. It takes two and all of that, right? Okay, well, why is there always something wrong? Like I speak to all my exes whenever I, want to. I'm amicable with people, and I've had closure conversations because they needed it. I'm not a person who needs closure, right? But one of my exes asked me, she was like, why didn't you want to give it another chance and this, that, and the third? And I said, because there's no man that's good enough for you. She said, well, what do you mean by that? There is no man good enough for you. Name a box I didn't check. She said, oh, well, I mean, now that I think about it, you checked all the boxes. I said, right. So if I checked all your boxes and you still had we need to talk, and you still had to, nitpick about something, and you still wanted to, you get what I'm saying? You can't be satisfied. Good enough ain't good enough. And that's why you have a lot of women who have all this rationale, all this reasoning. They articulate themselves well. They smart. They explain. And it all just comes around to nobody that I have come across was good enough to me. That could be a problem. Some women need to adjust what good enough is, or understand that complacency isn't a bad thing. Contentment isn't a bad thing. The term is literally called settling down, but nobody wants to do the settling. It's called settling down. You're supposed to settle. There's always going to be an option that looks shinier, a little bit better, a little bit doper. Nah, I chose this one. I chose it 20 years ago, and I'm still right here. Yeah, this one look good over here. Yeah, it's being made available to me. Yeah, but I chose this one. I'm cool. It's called settling down. The women have taken the settling out of settling. They don't want to nothing. Okay, so if you're not going to settle on something, and your analogy to the cars, I know people who only lease vehicles because they like switching it up. And that's what these women are on now. They end up in one way or another, roundabout over the span of years, just doing the ding dong gymnastics. It was this man for 3 months. It was this man for a year. It was this man for 2 years. It was this man for 6 months. I took a little hiatus. I was celibate for this long. They spin around. They look back. They 50, and it's just a whole bunch of history of trial, error, and penises.
Carfax.
That's what
men that are getting married. Those men that are getting married, some of them are still out there doing what they do too. So we're not gonna take men off the thing, because I have known exes who have gotten married, but they still out here hoeing in the streets too. You still sliding in my DM, and I'm like, sir, you just was on the picture with your newborn baby. So we're not gonna do that to women.
There's different types of men in this world. Them the type you like, because I promise you, not one of my exes could say I ever tried to get back. Ever. I've never dated the same woman twice. I've never tried again. When we in it, I'm gonna give it every opportunity to work. Once it's over, it is over.
Well, I have no talking about trying it again back with your ex, but I'm just saying, seeing my exes, oh yeah, you're married, you got kids, but you still out here in the streets.
Yeah, we gonna do that. Do you understand? You don't date women.
Dog the women out and say they doing a gymnastics or whatever. There are some men that are doing it too.
It's not the same for us.
Just because they settle down on paper and on Facebook and Instagram, they're posting pictures with their family, but they still out here doing.
I'm gonna give you some uncomfortable truth you're not ready for. I'm sorry, souls. we gotta have this conversation. I gotta do it. It's an uncomfortable truth. I can take it. Go for it. You're a woman. You don't date women, so you don't know what men go through. That's fair, right? You don't date women, so you don't know. Right? So you don't know the experience of being a man in a long-term relationship with a woman. It is very, very, very stressful, and most men that cheat in long-term relationships is because of the woman. Y'all do not want to hear it. It's true. I'm telling you, dude get drove out to go get that little piece.
Women cannot be held accountable for a man making a decision to cheat. The man can make the decision to leave. If it's that bad,
he don't gotta leave. He don't want to leave. Listen. Y'all women get in funks, right? Y'all have phases where, for whatever reason, he might have made a mistake, but it's taking you hella long to forgive him. But he gonna hang in the box with you. But guess what? His knees. Shout out to Joe Jet. He from the classic chat. What's going on, Joe?
He's a classic cadet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we here. We here.
So a player cheats in peace, but women cheating isn't it? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Joe Jet is
absolutely.
A classic cadet.
Absolutely. And this the thing though. Here's the thing though. Women could actually resolve the issue of their men stepping out if they would understand that they the reason why men step out. If a woman would exactly, and that's why you never fix it, because you won't admit that you're the problem. You'll never fix it. If a woman actually embrace, damn, if I'm consistent with giving my man morning head, 3 3 to 5 days a week. If I'm consistent, even I may not like them every day, but if I can find 3 out of 7 every week, no, I'm giving you real game. If I can find 3 out of 7 every week and be consistent, if I can make sure that his sack stay empty and his mind stay on the fact that he got something good going on, if I can make sure I can fit in 3 to 4, we with the modern adjustments, we'll make the modern adjustments. We don't need you to cook every day, but if I can make him a home cooked meal 3 days a week, and he can have leftovers from that meal the days in between. Just small things. No.
The crazy planet you come
it's not a crazy planet because guess what?
Yes, it is.
Because
it sounds like women have to do all of this to try to keep a man satisfied because we're the problem.
No, we do it. When y'all piss us off, we still say I love you. When y'all piss us off, we still gonna come pull up and you caught a flat tire. Even though we had a knockdown, drag out argument, you catch a flat tire in the morning, we gonna drop everything and come save the day. Absolutely. Even though you pissed us off, even though you was talking crazy last night, we don't stop being who we need to be in your life, in the services that we need to provide for you, because our emotions are fluctuating. When y'all emotions fluctuate, y'all freeze men out. You ain't gave him no coochie in 2 months. You've been giving him an attitude here and there. You called him out his name once or twice. He's trying to forgive you. And then when you circle back around to being happy, you want him to snap back into it. No, he got him a little side something now. It took too long. He got him a little side something now. And if you come to the reality of that, then you would know that even though your emotions fluctuate, you still got to perform your duties. You stay on that, then he don't have
to on both sides.
Hey, fellas, y'all here disagree with me. Disagree with me, guys.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hey.
I think it's funny because Alyssa, you kind of answered everything he said when you were giving your spiel, because you said that the gentleman had a family, he was posting pictures, but then he was still hitting you up, right? Most men only go where they're welcome. Most men
ain't no man welcome with me. They see me post a pretty picture and like, let me talk to her.
No, I'm not saying you in general, but just let me give you
I'm not going to accept that I'm the reason a man decides to cheat. You have 2 choices. If you need to go cheat, don't be with me. It's that simple. You don't have to stay somewhere where you are not feeling valued, where you are not feeling appreciated. Don't stay there. Be a man and say, hey, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go and explore my options with all these available women out here.
I'm telling you, I don't think men explore options. I think men explore what's available to them. Like that's how I look at it. I feel like men, for instance, right? If a man gets a family, right, they get married and y'all used to date. I ain't talking about you, listen. I'm just saying hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, yeah. Because I'm not saying all of my exes are no, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying like hypothetically, let's say if I was dating someone, and then once we break up, I get married, and now I'm posting my family, I'm posting my wife, and then this lady continues to like my stuff. That lady is showing that she's still available, because once you leave,
can't like.
Let me finish.
Well, let me stop liking people.
You can't. Hey, I'm gonna just say,
when I leave somebody,
married,
I leave you.
You can't like somebody else's picture.
Yeah, I leave you. I block you, and I do everything. Like I don't. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. We don't need to go rock back and like your pictures and stuff.
Real radio.
Go ahead.
Block. Real radio.
Yeah, we block you.
You block? What kind of toxic?
I don't care what you know. That ain't toxic.
You know what it is, listen.
Hey, it's hold
on, plug. Men know their weakness, and men are willing to.
So your ex is a weakness?
Let me explain. Women period are a weakness for men. And like Classic said, a man, we know how to solve our problem, right? Once I'm done with you, I need to eliminate you. You don't even need to be an option for me no more. You don't need to be available. I don't need to see what you're doing. I don't want to.
You see where she at right now? Look at you. What you mean? You said toxic. Look at your face.
I'm just appalled by what I'm hearing.
No, I'm saying we said blocked and you said toxic. Like, no,
that's
eliminated. We eliminate.
That's a man answering this question. Yeah, like it's kind of like
eliminate all opposition.
Yeah,
I don't want to deal with you no more.
Well, I have.
Hey, Joe.
I ain't answering no text.
Keep the cadets down
there. I wish y'all could find all my exes, because baby, they will have nothing but good things to say about me. I ain't doing nothing like that. And David, you know, particularly one of my exes that I'm still cool with, and he the homie. Like,
hey, hold up.
David, you know me.
Norris, it is.
Exes can still be friends when you get past stuff that happened. Because this particular ex that I'm talking about, he did some horrible things to me. But it's called forgiveness, and move on with your life. Like,
I think you can forgive and move on. Yeah.
Forgiveness is overrated. Forgiveness is overrated.
What you mean?
Highly. It's overrated. Forgiveness is overrated. I don't forgive and I don't forget nothing. You did me wrong and you knew what you was doing when you did it. So I'm gonna remember that. I'm not, because to forgive, it means that you have to not forget, but you have to, what is it? You have to let go and not harbor any resentment. And I'm gonna resent you. Every time I think about what you did, I'm a harbor resentment. So I'm just honest about it. Forgiveness is over. And
so for me,
let's take it. I think Lissa's saying people who leave on good terms, though.
Yeah.
Well, David, the one ex that I'm talking about, that you know who I'm talking about, we didn't necessarily end on good terms, but over time, you know, we had space. And now it's like I'm forgiving it. I'm over it. I'm done. And we're cool. Like, are we hanging out? No. Are we like, we're not doing nothing or nothing like that. But I mean, it's not like block X, don't ever look at me, don't talk to me, don't, you know, I mean, if I see you out at the post office, hey, how you doing? You know, it's no like, it's like, oh, come, let's go meet up. And
hey, y'all women in the chat, y'all cool with that? Women in the chat. See, y'all supposed to be backing Lissa up. Y'all feel the same way?
Hell
no,
feel
that way?
No, hell they don't.
I mean, people end on, you know, people experience things and handle things differently, but I guess, I don't know, like I forgive and let go of stuff because I don't want to hold on to that in my, like, let it go, move on.
In your spirit, you won't let that. You won't hold that in your spirit.
Pick it up for you when you leave.
What you was gonna say, David?
So I thought you were saying, like, if a man like break up, now he got kids or whatever with, you know, with another woman, and then you like DM him. For me, that would be like, if I got a new woman, you can't hit me up like my pictures, because the way I'm gonna look at it, like, if I'm with another woman,
Jen,
the moment you do that, it can open a door where, okay, first it's a like, then it might be a comment, then it might be a DM, then we might get to, you know, like you say, running into each other. But that's based off of if I'm with a new woman. If I'm with a new woman, nah, I ain't really, like, you can look at my social media. Well, I ain't really on there, but I ain't liking shit. I ain't liking shit. I ain't clicking on those stories.
What you hear, Alyssa, from all the men is that we all understand our weaknesses. So we all know that once it's over, we must eliminate this person from our lives.
I mean, hey, that's understandable.
But the way, just the way I am, just, you know, still, you know, being married, it's just certain boundaries. Like I just said, with any woman I'm dealing with, it's just boundaries. I ain't joking about certain things. Absolutely. I ain't talking about certain things because I'm still a man. I'm not perfect. You know, if I get,
yes, you are, baby. You perfect.
Hey,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Because I believe I know what Class is thinking right now.
Don't let David finish real quick.
But just basically, it can, you know, every, like, in my opinion, every affair, it don't start off just because I was just looking. It could start off, we was cool, and then I just started feeling you. So I ain't even gonna let that even brew up. I'm just gonna. But that's from a married perspective. So.
And that's understandable. That's understandable.
And that's also just out of respect to my wife.
This is good
creative. So I ain't finna be. It's just certain boundaries that I just have when I'm dealing with women outside of my marriage.
What you was gonna say, Plug?
I was just wondering if anybody believe in telekinesis. Because I know what that nigga thinking, right?
What you think he thinking?
I know what he thinking, right?
I want to hear it. Come on. Come on, I want to hear.
I'm talking about right before you
I'm
started.
sure it's something
baby.
degrading about women again.
No. Why would you say that?
Because everything y'all say is degrading about women. Women are the problem. Women need to learn this. Women need to tolerate this. Women need to stop doing this. Women need
listen. If you
over
really
yourself.
believe that anything that we're saying is degrading,
huh?
If you really believe that anything that we're saying is degrading, I would have to agree with Classic when he say you're the problem.
Well, of course, because you're a man and y'all are bashing women.
No, every time, every
we're just having a
You're
conversation.
saying the problem. You're saying women are the reason men cheat. Women are the problem. Like what?
I didn't say that.
The young lady said,
show me a man. Show me a man cheating on his wife and he gets sex 7 days a week. Show me one, and I'll show you the first one. I got a dude named Rory with a bridge for sale.
No, I am not going to sit here and accept your poor choices is because of a woman. No,
and that's why the problem, and that's why the monogamy problem will go unresolved. Because women don't understand why men step out. And when men try to come on these platforms and tell the truth about why men step out, it is not accepted as the truth. That can't be true. I am unwilling to agree with reality. I am unwilling to agree with reality. Yes, he made the decision as a reaction to the situation and the circumstance that he had been in for too long, to the point where his grace ran out.
Get out of it then.
No, it's not. But it's not time. Why would he leave? Let's say a brother like David.
Because this person is driving you to somebody else. So
David,
leave.
you married, right? So you have a whole empire that you've established for yourself, right? Should you? And I'm not putting nothing. I'm not putting nothing on you. I'm just using married man logic is different from I could just leave the relationship logic. Sometimes a man know when he got a good woman, but she might be tweaking for a while. And while she tweaking, that don't mean up and leave this amazing woman, because she gonna snap out of it. Let me land. Good women don't mean perfect women. So all women, 100% of y'all crazy. Now call that degrading. 100% of y'all crazy by God's design. By God's design. It's this chemical called estrogen that makes y'all emotionally volatile. It's God's design. So beef with God. Don't talk to me about it. All y'all crazy. So when y'all tweaking, be it a good woman, and I know, and that's why you won't fix it. And that's why you won't fix it. The first step is admitting it. The first step is admitting it. But look,
baby, the devil is a lie. I rebuke you, Satan.
The Bible describes the duties of a wife all day long, through and through. The Bible,
y'all have a little crazy.
The Bible describes the duties of a wife through and through. And a part of that is sexual satisfaction.
And let's talk about the duties of a husband.
And a part of that is also being for a husband. Yeah, the duty is to lead, but he can't lead a shitty follower. You understand what I'm saying? And he can't lead. And, I'm just keeping
victim.
it. I know. No. It's not
you
talk. Wait.
The woman just do all this stuff to the man. Wait, but listen, man just cannot make the right choices because of the woman.
But you're talking to an unmarried man with no woman problems. So with all this, I got hundreds of hours. I have hundreds of hours of content that you call misogynistic or whatever, degrading to women, and yet I don't have woman problems. With all this content that you call degrading, the issue is women who are wives and fit to be wives speak a completely different language from women who will be single and struggle in the dating market. That's just the reality of the situation. Because the women I date don't disagree with me. They get it. They get it. They get it. They like,
all the women. They can.
No. I said the women I date.
Well, the women you date can agree with you, maybe because they don't want to get on your bad side, and they
because they want to be picked. They want to be picked. I date pick me.
Well, listen,
pick me.
I ain't got no sign up saying pick me, and I'm not struggling dating at all. So no.
Wait, didn't you? Okay.
Then I what?
None.
I'm not struggling to find no date. I'm not struggling to find a date.
I don't want to make it about you personally. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that some women get it and some women don't. And the women that get it have an easier time with sustainability with a man long term. That's it. That's all I'm saying. They have an easier time with sustainability. And the women who don't get it, look at those women, the women who do get it, like they're suffering or they're in some type of bondage. But the woman that's at the crib with their husband don't see it your way. They don't. You think I'm suffering and in bondage, and I'm just fulfilling the duties of a wife, and I know what the pros and cons of that are. I think a lot of times women who are single or who want marriage but have not been married or have not sustained a marriage, those women have an issue with the cons that come with the pros. They want all, I mean, they want all pros, no cons. You're gonna get cons with the pros. We know dealing with y'all, we can't live with y'all, can't live without y'all. If I could have it perfectly my way, I would live a completely single life and just call a woman when I need one. That's it. That's it. If I could have it my way, because it's way more peaceful than dealing with a woman day to day. As a man, I'm just being openly honest. It's way more peaceful dealing with a woman when you need one than dealing with one on a day-to-day basis because of the emotional irregulation. It's too fucking much. And a lot of times dudes be driven to a stressful point where that work wife start looking extra good over the course of a 40-year marriage, a 50-year marriage. Yeah, he stepped out once. Oops, don't leave. Stay in the box. You took vows.
All right, I got a
let's do the closing remarks.
I got a question for you. Classic.
Right.
Let me ask.
What's up, Dad?
So, are you saying, are you looking to be married? Or are you good?
On paper, I don't know about that.
Because
what do you mean on paper?
The government.
Well,
it's not necessary.
One thing that you mentioned in terms of like you were talking about like men cheating or whatever is if a man was getting sex 7 days a week, I can tell you as a married man that ain't happening.
No, it's not.
So
it's not. Yeah.
And we kind of talked about this, I think in the B Simone one, where the number one thing that keeps a marriage together is not really going to be the sexual part. It's really going to be how you actually connect. Like, are you with somebody who you can kick it with them for a week straight and be okay with not having sex? Like, do you want to just have dinner? Do you want to just talk about your day?
No, I'm not okay with that in life in general. I'm too handsome.
Yeah.
While my dick working, I'm using it. Flat out.
Yeah, so yeah.
Flat out.
So I get it, but
I'm not living life like that. I don't have to. Why would I?
We
could be cool enough. I'm answering your question. Yes, I can be cool. I do want to be cool with somebody to where if we don't have sex, it's not a big deal. But we also should not be having sex. What are we doing?
No.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just in my marriage, we both working people, bunch of kids.
I mean, that's reality for a lot of people.
It don't happen all the time.
Does not happen every day.
No, you don't have to.
No. So I agree with you on some parts that you can have a woman that's getting on your nerves, and then another girl can be attractive just because she treats you a certain way. But on the flip side of that, because what I was kind of getting at is one reason why I don't cheat is because I set certain boundaries, because I know that I do have the capacity to cheat if I accept, like, because it's a bunch of women obviously that I meet on a day-to-day that I'm attracted to, but I have to keep them at arm's length. And
David,
like oh no, man, let me give you an example. Let me give you a good example. I was at the store. I was at Walmart with my middle two girls, and there was a woman checkout at the register. I'm talking to her, and she offered like to braid my girl's hair, and I actually need somebody to braid their hair. And whenever I deal with that, I always say, okay, let me get your information to my wife, because she was attractive. And she was like, well, I could just give it to you. And I was like, no, you can't. Because I know I have the capacity to be like, I know I had the capacity, so I'm gonna set a boundary. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say, the point I'm making is it's not always gonna be on the woman if a man cheat, because at the end of the day, there have to be certain, you have to have respect for your woman when she's not there. That's really what it come down to. Yeah. And so for me, go ahead.
No, I was gonna reply to what you said. You have to understand, I'm a person who speaks. I'm a person that speaks.
For real.
Watch out for that.
Hey, Jen ain't wrong.
Facts though. But I'm a person who speaks on the perspective of most men, right? So I've never actually cheated in a relationship, right? But I'm also not quick to be in a titled, labeled relationship, because I need to know that I'm gonna be. Here's the reality of the situation. the sex drive of one woman is normally not enough to accommodate one man. Most men have a high enough sex drive to satisfy more than one woman. It's just the reality of it. So if you choose monogamy, you're going to have to wrestle with your male nature from time to time. What I'm saying is by indicating that women who stop fulfilling their wifely duties for periods of time and stretches of time that are beyond that man's grace, it puts your relationship in a state of vulnerability. All men have not mastered discipline. I would actually say the minority of men have mastered discipline. So when you put your relationship in a state of vulnerability by not fulfilling your duties, if he succumbs to the flesh, he's just a human being imperfect. It's just the real. So I do point back to the person who put us in the state of vulnerability. I've never seen a man whose balls stay empty running out in the streets looking at something. It's not possible. If your wife just got done with you this morning, nobody at work look good by the time you get home. Nobody. It's true. It's just true. And I'm not saying 7 days a week. That was a radical example. I'm just saying you have to be consistent. You may, we all get busy. We all got jobs. We most people middle to upper middle class Americans, whatever, 2 people working. It happens, right? But you shouldn't be going 2 weeks a month.
No, I'm good,
you know what I'm saying?
sweetheart. I don't need help in that department, but thank you. I'm good.
That boy crazy. Hey, the classic chat different. They different.
Hey, comments been going crazy.
I'm not accepting any of this. I am not the problem. I am not the reason why a man cheat. Every man that I've been with has not cheated on me. And so no, I'm not.
You wouldn't even know. All men don't get caught. Yeah. That's a fact.
Okay, so now I guess you're saying all men do cheat then.
Black men don't.
No,
cheat.
I'm not. I just said I've never cheated. I'm not even a cheating man.
So I make a statement that all men haven't cheated on me, and your rebuttal is you don't know.
You don't. I don't know that all women haven't cheated on me. I don't know that. How do I know? I can't watch somebody when they're not around. I don't know. And I'm not a detective either. I never catch
and say every man that I've met that I've dated have cheated on me. No, I'm not going to subscribe to that foolishness. And I'm not going to subscribe to the fact that that a woman is the reason why a man decides, no, you are grown. You make your own decision on your own.
All right.
And
no, respectfully.
Everything to a successful relationship isn't just about physical. It isn't just about sex. And it seems like that's all what we keep talking about is cheating and a man's sexual drive and what a man needs. And
because that's why y'all leaving, right? Isn't that why y'all leaving? Because we cheat. So why would we talk about
I never said that. I never said
that. Why are women leaving? 46% of women are married in America right now. We're down from 64% from the 1960s. Why are women leaving? 70% of divorces are filed by women, ethnicity aside, because you guys are unsatisfiable. A good enough is not good enough anymore. I'm a very honest man. The reason why I could be honest is because I don't need anything from any woman. I don't need nothing from y'all. So I'm honest. And some women deal with me just because they know they're going to get the truth, right? I'm an honest man, but because I'm honest and I tell the truth about male nature, not necessarily my nature, because I've mastered discipline, but I'm talking about male nature in general. The women who be like, you know what? Yeah, I know that. I have brothers. My brother showed me, or I know that. My dad taught me about male nature. Those women be having husbands and they chilling. The women who always disagree with the reality that I express, respectfully, they're always unmarried. The women who disagree
I have married female friends who would disagree with that, and I'm going to see if I can get something. Because no, I'm not.
And their husbands are suffering. And bring the husbands too. Bring the husbands too.
I just so happen to not be married. So now your rebuttal is your rebuttal. No, but now just because I'm not married, your rebuttal is, oh, that's why you're not married because you're not agreeing with. No, I'm not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's what you're hearing.
Been married 4 or 5 times over now.
Right. That's my point. So why were all the men who were willing to marry you, why were none of them good enough? Out of the 4 or 5, why were none of them good enough? Because good enough is not good enough. That's my point.
That is false. Okay. No, I'm not fixing to sit here and say I did not marry all of them because I was unsatisfied. Absolutely not, sir. No.
There was something wrong. There was the truth is that we can't disagree with this. Out of all 4 or 5 or whoever they were, none of them are your husband. So they weren't good enough in some capacity. Something wasn't good enough. Something. It doesn't even matter what. The details are for you. That's none of my business. But for
No,
some reason, and it's not even about
being
you. There's
good
so
enough.
many women. 64%
It's not
of
being
women.
good enough.
64% of women finna cry themselves to sleep. 64% nationwide, all ethnicities.
64%
And
of women are not
it's not
crying
and it's
themselves.
not and it's 70%
Ain't
of
nobody
divorces
sitting
found.
here at home crying over no man.
Okay.
Ain't no
It's a
64% of women doing that. I'm
It's
not
a
saying that.
results-based conversation. It's a results-based conversation, Alyssa. It's a results-based conversation. 64% of women, ethnicity aside in this country, are unmarried women. 64%. 70% of
And you're
divorces.
saying all 64% are crying because they don't have men?
70% of the women in this country file for their own divorces, okay? But women are not the problem at all. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. And these numbers will continue to get worse because the first step is admitting it. If you have to get over alcoholism, you have to say, hey, I'm an alcoholic. If you want to get over a crack addiction, you have to say, hey, I'm a crackhead. If you want to get over sustainability issues, you have to say, I'm not sustaining because I'm not doing something right.
I'm sorry, those women hurt you, baby.
Nobody, I don't have women problems. I get what because of the way women, because listen, a man like me that's 6'2" and single, I benefit from this more than anybody alive. I can go outside and it's a buffet because y'all liberated, because y'all want choice,
and
because y'all can move like us.
Yeah, everything is physical for you.
No, it's not. I just told you,
You
I'm a
keep
man
talking
of
about all
discipline.
this physical stuff.
You're not hearing me. You disregard the things that I say that you want to disregard. I just said I'm a man. I just said I'm a man of discipline. I don't exercise some of the things that I'm talking about. I'm speaking to you about male nature. If you understand that I'm rare and that most men lack discipline, then you can't blame the guy that is 6'4", handsome and in shape.
It's physical.
What I'm telling you is because it's physical with women. You are one woman. I'm speaking about women in general. If you are a 6'4", handsome, attractive man, I'm 6'2" with long hair, good skin. I walk outside. I'm physically fit. I drive a nice car. I got a panoramic roof. When I pull up, I can do what I want. No, when I pull up, I can do what I want. No, I'm just saying, y'all made it this way. If I had all, I know, bro, I know you got to rap, but if I had it this way and I couldn't do what I want, I wouldn't be able to say this, right? So it's on women to say that's not enough for me. Y'all don't. I can do what I want. I can go outside and do what I want.
All women think that way is.
No, that's not all. It's a big enough population for me not to need to sit down nowhere if I don't want to. And I'm not speaking about me. I'm saying all men who are in that position. If a man is generally attractive to women, he can do whatever he wants outside because women no longer have discipline. Because y'all liberated. Because y'all could do what y'all want with y'all box. Because being a virgin is now the goofy kid when being a hoe used to be the goofy kid.
It's not.
So you made it. We living in the environment y'all created for us. If more women close the legs, more men will have to commit. Am I lying? Oh, okay. I just want to have a fact-based conversation.
No, I'm sorry you went through what you went through, love.
But
why is it always diminished to who hurt you? That's such a diminishing thing. When somebody tells the truth about women, it's a diminish because I've made
hurting you.
I've made an amalgamation of amazing points here. And you would reduce it down to no. Listen, you don't have to agree with me. None of the men are disagreeing. There's a reason for that. I've made an amalgamation of amazing points here. And you would reduce it, and you would reduce it down to me being emotionally inept in some way or unhealed. You would reduce all my points down to being unhealed. And I've expressed to you multiple times that I don't even live the life I'm speaking to you about. I'm talking about male nature. I understand men.
Don't nobody want no crip.
Come on now. Stop it. Hey. I ain't said nothing wrong. If you don't have the results, it's for a reason.
So we're going to conclude with this. It sounds like Classic is leaning on the facts and the numbers. Listen,
he's using numbers and facts to prove a point to him. He's using them as he wants to. Like, give me the link so I can go to it and we can really dig into this. But I'm not subscribing to women are the problem for no, absolutely not. It's two people in a relationship. And it takes two people to want to be solution focused, not just sit here and point the finger at the other person. Now, are there some things that women can take accountability for? Absolutely. But there are some things that men can take accountability for too.
Nope.
We can agree to disagree, guys. We can agree. Make sure that y'all need to go on Classic's panel. He's trying to get it's been very difficult for him to get women to come out where y'all can speak. No men ain't gonna be there, all women. I think it'd be a great opportunity for y'all to be able to
speak about what?
Speak about what y'all are seeing in class. I'll let you for what you talk.
So I'm putting together a women's panel of women who are not all like-minded, so women can talk to other women and hear the perspectives of women who are getting the results they want in the dating world, and the women who don't get the results, or just women with all different perspectives, to have these conversations amongst each other without a male voice, because y'all want to disagree with us no matter what. Y'all want to disagree with me no matter what. I could say all the fact-based stuff I want. I could point out the divorce rates. I could point out all this, and y'all just gonna disagree because it's a dude saying it. And I know I have to be so scorned and hurt to talk about reality. I know. But when women sit around and other women could say, "No, sis, I'm not," I mean,
like, it's one thing to
it's different.
Give
So
the
I just
facts.
want women to talk. I just want women
It's
to talk.
one thing to give statistics, but your reasoning behind it is some of the reasoning behind it, because there are some things that you have said that I said, okay, I agree with some of what you're saying, but to sit here and blame everything on a woman, but
I'm only blame. What are we to blame for? Alyssa, what are men to blame for?
I can't just sit here. I'm not going to sit here and say a man is the problem in everything and a woman. No.
What are we? I didn't say that. I said what? Just name two things we're to blame
in a
for.
Relationship.
Yeah. Men today, modern men. What are we to blame for?
People break up vary. I can't just pinpoint and say all men do this, because first of all, to start a statistic with the statement all of anybody does something is not very a smart thing to say, in my opinion. I can't, because I don't know all men. I don't know all women. No one, even when people do surveys and they come up with these statistics, they are still just interviewing a select group of people. They cannot speak for everybody. So no, I'm not going to agree with that. There are two people in a relationship, and two people have to understand the roles that they play in the relationship not working, for whatever reason it could be. I'm not agreeing with.
I just asked for two. I just asked for two examples.
We're gonna let you agree to disagree tonight.
Hang on.
Two examples.
I want to say one thing.
Dora's like, look, I got to go.
Hey, this is gonna be real quick. In the chat, April put to answer one of your other questions, put this a while ago, but she put the number one reason women file for divorce is emotional neglect and lack of emotional connection in a relationship. So before we go, what would you say to that?
I would say that men withdraw when they realize it only takes one time. And I'm finna tell the truth. Men withdraw. Well, you got one time with most men, and first off, Alyssa, I don't think all applies to anything. So I always speak to majority, because generalities do exist, and you know that. So I only speak to majority, and if the majority is going, that's the flock. You know what I'm saying? But men generally withdraw. If there's ever a moment in a relationship where a man has to withdraw from a woman, sometimes he doesn't come back. Once that trust is broken, when he realizes this space is not safe, and it could be something small. It could be something small. The woman may not even be conscious that she do it. If he withdraws, then you may start to feel some neglect, or his energy may be shifted in other areas. And it may not always be another woman. Dude might there's men who suffer in silence all the time, but we can't talk about it because it's misogyny, right? But there's men who suffer in silence all the time. And they, instead of leaving their household, they'll move their energy. I'm finna work hella overtime. I'm finna pick up a gym habit. Or some dudes sit in the car before they go in the house for an hour and have a drink and talk on Bluetooth or scroll in their phone because they just want to deal with her less. You know what I'm saying? So I would say emotional neglect does exist. And I do think men exhibit it, and it's for a reason, though. The thing that I always point out is that men are reactionary to women because women have something we want. So when you say, why do you always point back to the women? Because women give us access. We have to be granted access, which gives y'all the keys for a while. You see what I'm saying? So if women generally kind of have the control of this thing, and what they're doing with the wheel is steering funny. But if I point it out, I'm a misogynist. So I'm gonna stop talking about it, because I'm a misogynist. I hate all women because I'm talking about reality out loud.
I never said you hate all women.
No, you feel like I think women are like the total problem. No, I think that whatever percentage of the whatever
you verbatim said the woman is the problem.
If we disagree, if put it like this: whatever part of the problem we fixed it already. We waiting on y'all to take y'all part. So whatever percentage, we don't have to agree on the percentage, but whatever percentage of the problem that y'all could go ahead and say, hey, I'll own it and fix it, and then these marriage rates will show it. But as long as y'all keep saying it ain't nothing, it ain't us, then the numbers will continue to get worse and worse and worse, and they're progressively getting worse. And once the family is extinct, y'all gonna hate what outside look like. It's gonna be very dangerous for everybody. bunch of adults that grew up with no structure, no foundation, and a very godless belief system. Yeah, so get ready. Hope y'all in an open carry state. Nobody thinks about the fallout. They just think about themselves.
Okay.
Cool. All right, man. I think we got it. Everybody want to say where they can find you? Melissa, you know, where they can find you?
Well, no, not yet. We got some stuff coming, but yeah, not yet. It's fine.
I will be seeing you in a couple of days there.
Yes, yes. So. And Classic, as always, it's great to hear from you.
Hey, you look good too. I sent you a compliment earlier. You ain't say thank you, so you being rude.
I didn't see the compliment because you probably was like, I don't know
that's
what
your problem right there. That's your problem right there. You rude.
I'm trying to be present in the conversation, and I'm trying to catch the comments, but I'm trying to stay present.
See, don't miss your blessing.
Hey, as a little brother, you better be trying to marry. I'm gonna tell you that.
I come from nothing but marriages. My parents still together. My grandparents all live.
I appreciate y'all, man. I enjoyed it. I think
that's a good time.
Yeah, and I'm not upset or anything. Like I was
just gonna say I think the most important part was this last 2 minutes that everybody gonna miss. Y'all gonna watch this and be they going back, but it's all about being able to
just having a conversation.
Laugh.
Absolutely.
You know, so
no, you need to make sure you show us laugh. They're gonna be like, woo! They're gonna be eating their popcorn.
Put the laugh in the thumbnail.
Hey David, where they can find you? Hey, David's doing some content now.
Just starting a YouTube channel called Takes From My Garage. I might change that name, but right now that's where you can find me.
You know, when you knew, you can change stuff up a little bit, But yeah, I'll do hey, give me the information to try out for the panel, or just put me on there.
All right, so I'm gonna take off. Y'all take it easy.
All right.
All right. Sorry. All right, y'all. Well, a great discussion as always.
Appreciate everybody.
Hey, Norris, can you pass Alyssa my number so I can get you on the women's panel? I'm still putting it together. I'm trying to get these schedules coordinated.
Okay.
All right.
We'll do, man. We out, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all. Bye, April. Bye, Joe. Lord, baby.